Right now, someone is manipulating you and you haven't even noticed. Maybe it's your boss who frames every request as a favor while you do the work that earns them promotions. Maybe it's that friend who somehow always gets their way while making you feel guilty for having boundaries. You can feel it, that uncomfortable awareness that you're playing a game you don't understand while everyone else sees the board clearly. You've watched them. The people who enter rooms and conversations die mid-sentence, the ones whose silence commands more respect than other people's speeches. You've felt that shift in the air when they arrive, that invisible weight that makes everyone recalibrate without a word being spoken. Here's what's eating at you. You want that power. But every guru tells you to be authentic and just be confident, as if confidence materializes from thin air instead of being earned through psychological dominance. They're selling fairy tales while the real players are studying Machiavelli. The truth they won't tell you? True dominance isn't found in noise or chest beating. It's built in silence, in restraint, in calculated force that strikes once and echoes forever. Machiavelli understood what modern society tries to hide. Power isn't about being loved, nor is it about being feared. It's about being necessary. When your aura makes others believe they cannot afford to oppose you, you've already won before the game begins. We'll walk through 10 laws of transformation, each one a blade sharpening your edge. But understand this, if you apply these laws, you will change. People will call you cold, manipulative, and they'll be partially right. This path leads to respect and isolation in equal measure. But weakness is more expensive than loneliness. If you're ready for the truth instead of comfort, comment, "I see the game now," and let's begin. Law 1. The death of hesitation. Think about the last time someone disrespected you. Maybe they interrupted you mid-sentence, dismissed your idea, canceled plans with a half-assed excuse. Now think about what you did. You probably smiled, said, "No problem," while something inside you screamed that it was absolutely a problem. That's where your power died, in the hesitation. Here's the first law. If you hesitate, the world devours you. Machiavelli knew that men follow strength even when that strength is cold and merciless. You must cultivate a presence that radiates inevitability, the sense that your path is carved in stone and nothing can move you from it. Your first weapon, deploy it today. Stop reacting. Most men are emotional puppets. Someone insults them, they defend. Someone challenges them, they explain. Every reaction is a string pulled, handing power to whoever pulled it. Watch what happens when you don't react, when someone throws an insult and you just look at them. 2 seconds of steady eye contact, no smile, no frown, nothing, just observation. They crumble because you've refused to play the game they expected. Tactical application. Next time someone interrupts you, don't speed up to finish your sentence. Stop talking completely. Look at them. Wait, let the silence hang until they feel the weight of what they've done. Then continue exactly where you left off as if they don't exist. Weak men chatter endlessly to prove themselves. Powerful men conserve words like kings spend gold, rarely with crushing impact. The less you reveal, the more they project onto you. The more they project, the more they fear what you might be capable of. That fear is the seed of control. But here's what no one tells you. This discipline is lonely. When you stop people-pleasing, people stop being pleased. You'll lose friends who were only there because you made yourself small for their comfort. Let them go. Comment below. My silence commands respect. Law 2. The mask of controlled power. Remember the last time you got angry and showed it? Maybe you raised your voice, sent that emotional text, let someone see they got under your skin. In that moment, you handed them ammunition. Now, they know your trigger. Machiavelli taught that men judge more by appearances than by reality. Raw emotion, uncontrolled impulses, outbursts of rage. These are cracks in the fortress that expose the frightened child beneath. Your face must become unreadable, your voice a calculated instrument. When people cannot read you, they cannot predict you. When they cannot predict you, they cannot control you. Cultivate an expression of quiet authority, a stillness that unsettles the frantic energy around you. Most people are desperate performers constantly seeking applause. You will be the audience, the judge who's seen this performance 1,000 times and remains unimpressed. Tactical application. When someone asks you a question, pause for 2 full seconds before responding. Count them. Watch them start to fidget. That fidget is power transferring from them to you. The world operates at chaos speed. You operate at inevitability speed. Move slower than everyone around you. Your stillness becomes the eye of the storm everyone else revolves around. Power proved is power questioned. Power assumed is power granted. But understand the cost. This mask becomes your face. You can't take it off at home. The man who masters controlled power in public but collapses into emotional chaos in private is building on sand. The spontaneous, emotionally open person you were before dies. Mourn that death if you need to, then bury it. Comment below. My mask is my weapon. Law 3. The architecture of fear. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. The people who respect you most also fear you a little. And the people who only love you will abandon you the moment someone offers them more comfort. Power without fear is fragile. Machiavelli wrote that it is safer to be feared than loved, and though everyone will call this toxic, you must embrace it if you want to stop being used. Fear doesn't mean brutality. It means consequences. It means crafting an edge so sharp that others instinctively avoid cutting themselves against it. Think about your life right now. Who uses you? Who takes your time, your energy, your resources, and gives nothing back? They do it because there's no consequence. You've taught them through infinite forgiveness that they can disrespect you without cost. Here's the tactical shift. Next time someone takes advantage, doesn't show up, breaks a promise, disrespects your time, don't explain why you're upset. Just withdraw. Ghost that specific interaction. When they ask what's wrong, say nothing is wrong, but your availability has mysteriously evaporated. No explanation, no closure, just absence. This drives people insane because humans need narrative. You've given them none. They'll create their own narrative, and it will always be darker than reality. That uncertainty is fear crystallizing, but balance is everything. Those who fear you too much will plot against you. Those who see no benefit will abandon you. The secret is binding fear to utility. Be the man others rely on while simultaneously dreading the thought of losing you. Never reveal the full extent of your punishments. Keep them guessing. A mysterious man with an invisible hand is far more terrifying than a loud tyrant who displays every weapon. Men who are loved are replaceable. Men who are feared are unforgettable. Necessary, untouchable. Comment. My presence breeds respect and fear. Law 4. The Liberation of Detachment. When was the last time someone's opinion of you ruined your entire day? Maybe they criticized your work, rejected you, chose someone else, and you spent hours replaying it, defending yourself to an imaginary jury, seeking validation from people who don't matter. That's the prison. Attachment, desperation, overinvestment. Machiavelli whispered, "Never place your fortune in the hands of another." Emotional detachment isn't about being lifeless, it's about being untouchable. When you're immune to flattery, rejection, betrayal, and even praise, you become the one element that cannot be manipulated. Most men crumble at rejection, explode at insults, beg for validation, chase after those who walk away, and in that weakness, their power evaporates. But you, when you stand silent under insult, when you remain calm in betrayal, when you don't chase what leaves, you radiate a power that both terrifies and captivates. People expect emotional reactions. When you give none, they collapse into uncertainty. They question themselves instead of questioning you. Tactical application. Next time someone gives you approval or praise, don't light up. Don't smile wider. Just nod once and say, noted with the exact same energy as if they told you it's raining. Watch their confusion. They tried to pull your emotional strings and found no strings to pull. Same with criticism. Someone attacks your idea in a meeting, no defensiveness, just interesting perspective with flat affect. Then move on as if they never spoke. You've just shown everyone that their opinion has no power over your emotional state. Detachment gives you clarity. Emotions fog the mind. Detachment clears it. The man who loves without control is conquered by his own heart. The detached man uses both love and hate as weapons, never as prisons. Here's the brutal truth. You will lose people. The ones close to you because you made yourself emotionally available will drift away. They'll say you've changed, become cold. They're right. Because the warm version was being exploited daily. When you achieve true detachment, you gain choice. You can choose when to act, when to strike, when to retreat. Nothing owns you. No one controls you. But this level of detachment means you'll rarely feel the highs of emotional connection. You'll be respected, even admired, but rarely truly known. This is the price. Comment: I am untouchable. Law 5. The weapon of silence and speech. Think about the last argument you lost. I'll tell you why you lost. You talked too much, you over-explained, you justified, you filled silence because silence made you uncomfortable. And in that flood of words, you revealed your position, your insecurities, your desperation to be understood. Your opponent won by saying less. Words are weapons. Silence is the sheath that gives them their deadly edge. Most men squander both, rambling without precision, filling air with noise that betrays weakness. The man who masters silence commands the battlefield of minds before opening his mouth. Here's what happens when you weaponize silence. People become deeply uneasy. They feel compelled to fill the void. They start talking, revealing insecurities, exposing weaknesses, while you remain the unmoving observer, collecting intelligence. Tactical application for the next 48 hours. In every conversation, let the other person finish speaking. Then count to 3 before responding. Don't nod. Don't Just look at them with neutral observation. Watch what happens. They'll start adding more, clarifying, over-explaining, and in that additional speech, they'll tell you exactly how to control them. But silence alone isn't enough. You must master speech, precise, sharp, deliberate language that shapes perception. Words aren't for explaining, they're for influencing. Never justify, never over-explain. Justification signals weakness. Instead, make declarations, issue directives. Weak. I was thinking maybe we could try this approach because... Strong. We're doing it this way. Then silence. Weak. I'm sorry I can't make it, but I have this thing and... Strong. I won't be there. No explanation. See the difference? The weak version invites negotiation. The strong version presents reality. Reality isn't debated. When you do speak, make every word count. Short, powerful statements that leave no room for doubt. This is what's happening. That's not negotiable. We're done here. I've decided. A careless tongue ruins kings. A disciplined tongue builds empires. Silence earns respect. Words win loyalty. Both together forge fear. Comment: my silence speaks louder than kings. If you've made it this far, you've already crossed a line. You can't unhear these truths. You can't go back to pretending the game doesn't exist. The comfortable delusion that being yourself is enough, that's dead now. The only question left is whether you'll play to win or play to lose while pretending you're not playing at all. The next 5 laws go darker. They require you to do things that will make others uncomfortable, things that will make you question whether you're becoming the villain. Here's my answer. You're not becoming the villain. You're becoming ungovernable. The world profits from your weakness. Every time you people please, someone else's empire grows while yours crumbles. These final laws are about taking back what's yours. If that makes you a villain to people who are exploiting you, good. Law 6. the gravitational pull of presence. Close your eyes and remember, the last time you walked into a room full of people, what happened? Did conversation pause? Did heads turn? Or did you slip in unnoticed, hoping someone would acknowledge you, waiting for permission to exist in that space? That's the difference between presence and invisibility. Presence is invisible power made tangible. Most men stumble into rooms seeking approval. The Machiavellian mind never seeks. It commands. Presence begins with posture. Right now, notice how you're sitting or standing. Shoulders rolled forward, chest collapsed. That's the posture of someone who's been defeated so many times they've trained their body to pre-surrender. Stand as though the ground itself belongs to you. Shoulders squared, spine straight. No wasted gestures, no nervous fidgeting. Next comes pace. Move slower than everyone around you. This feels wrong at first. You'll feel like you're being rude. Good. That discomfort is your people-pleasing instinct dying. Haste is the child of anxiety. The man of presence sets the rhythm. Others unconsciously adjust to match it. Tomorrow, walk 30% slower everywhere. Keep your head level, not down, not darting around, just forward. You're not rushing to fit into anyone's pace. They're adjusting to yours. Then there is eye contact, the most primal tool of dominance. Don't dart your eyes seeking validation. Hold steady. Observe calmly. Let others break first. The one who looks away concedes the invisible battle. Practice tonight. Next conversation, hold eye contact for 3 seconds longer than feels comfortable. Don't break when they break. Don't smile to relieve tension. Just observe. Beyond body, there is aura projection, control of voice, breathing, strategic silence. When you speak, your tone must be low, firm, deliberate, not loud, low. Bass frequencies signal dominance. Slow your speech by 20%. Drop your voice half an octave. But here's the element most men miss: scarcity. Don't make yourself overly available. The man who is everywhere becomes invisible. The man who appears rarely but powerfully becomes unforgettable. Your arrival should shift rooms. Your absence should hollow them. Here's what happens in the first 30 days. Week 1. People confused by your changed behavior. Are you okay? Don't explain. Week 2. Some test your new boundaries aggressively. Don't break. Week 3. You'll feel isolated. The friends who tolerated you will drift. Don't revert. Week 4. The first person bends to your frame. You'll feel the shift, the gravity reversing. Comment: my presence is undeniable. Law 7. The invisible strings of leverage. Every person you know is being controlled by invisible strings. Most don't see them. You're about to learn how to hold them. Think about someone who manipulates you. They know exactly what to say to make you feel guilty. They know how to frame requests so you can't say no without looking like an asshole. They've mapped your psychology and pull strings you didn't know existed. Now, flip the script. You need to become that person. Power isn't brute force. It's the art of pulling invisible strings, orchestrating outcomes while appearing to do nothing. Machiavelli taught us that men are driven by 2 forces: fear of loss and hope of gain. To control someone, learn which lever moves them most efficiently. Every person carries hidden desires, insecurities, and fears. Your aura becomes magnetic when it signals that you understand those hidden layers better than they understand themselves. Assignment for the next week. In every interaction, speak 40% less and observe 60% more. Listen not to what people say, but to what they reveal. What to look for. What do they brag about? Reveals insecurity. What do they apologize for? Reveals guilt, shame. What do they avoid discussing? Reveals fear. Who do they name drop? Reveals who they want to be. Once you know what someone truly values, you own them. If they crave validation, make your approval scarce. When they seek validation, give them 80% of what they want, never 100%. The missing 20% will consume their thoughts. If they fear exclusion, remind them subtly of hierarchy. I'm grabbing drinks with higher status person Thursday. Small group thing. You didn't uninvite them, you just reminded them they weren't invited. If they hunger for opportunity, position yourself as the gatekeeper. I might be able to connect you with person, but I need to see if you're ready for that level. The beauty of leverage is control without obvious force. You plant ideas. They grow into decisions they believe are their own. You guide emotions along channels you prepared. They think they arrived at conclusions freely when you wrote the script. Never overplay it. If people sense manipulation, they'll resist. The most effective control is the kind they never notice. Give them enough freedom to feel independent, but subtly direct every significant choice toward your outcome. Comment, I control the unseen strings. Law 8. The Fortress of Ruthless Boundaries. Answer honestly. How many times this week did you let someone disrespect your time, your energy, your boundaries? How many times did you say it's fine when it absolutely wasn't fine? Every time you accept disrespect without consequence, you teach the world your boundaries are suggestions, not laws. You train people that crossing you is free. Weak men accept too much, forgive too quickly, compromise too often, and in doing so, they teach the world to walk over them. Ruthless boundaries aren't about cruelty, they're about clarity. They declare without words that your time, energy, and presence are not cheap commodities, they are luxuries. When people sense they can cross you without consequence, they strip your aura bare. But when they realize every action has weight, every violation has cost, your value multiplies. Here's the tactical framework. Step 1. Identify where you're being disrespected. That friend who cancels last minute constantly. That family member who guilt trips you, that coworker who borrows your ideas. Write them down. Step 2, decide the consequence, not a threat you announce, an action you take. The consequence for canceled plans isn't a lecture. It's you becoming mysteriously unavailable the next 3 times they reach out. Step 3, enforce immediately, coldly, without explanation. This is where most men fail. They want to explain. Don't. Explanation is negotiation. Negotiation is weakness. Real example. Someone routinely showed up 30 to 45 minutes late. I explained once. Nothing changed. Next time they were 15 minutes late, I left. Didn't answer texts for 2 hours. When I did, you weren't there, so I left. No anger. No explanation. Just consequence. They've been on time ever since. To enforce boundaries, you must master detachment. If someone wastes your time, cut them off without guilt. If someone disrespects you, withdraw your presence. If someone tries to exploit you, make them regret it. But boundaries aren't only external, they're internal. You must set boundaries with your own indulgences, laziness, emotional weakness. Internal boundaries to set today. No phone for the first hour after waking. No responding to non-urgent messages after 8 p.m. No saying yes to invitations you don't want to attend. No apologizing for things that aren't your fault. Self-control is the highest boundary. Without it, all others crumble. A man who controls his appetites, time, and reactions radiates authority. A man enslaved by impulses invites ridicule. People will call you cold, difficult. You've changed. Let them. These are the words of people who benefited from your weakness and resent your strength. Some will fall away. Let them. They were never relationships. They were hostage situations where you were the hostage. Comment, my lines are unbreakable. Law 9, the precision of strategic cruelty. There comes a moment when presence, silence, leverage, and boundaries are not enough. Someone will push too far, test you publicly, betray you, spread lies, undermine you in ways designed to destroy what you've built. And in that moment, you have a choice. Be merciful and show them weakness works, or be cruel and teach them a lesson they'll never forget. Let me be clear. Most of you will not have the stomach for this law. You'll rationalize. I'm better than that. I'll take the high road. These are the comfortable lies weak men tell themselves, while stronger men take everything they have. Machiavelli declared that cruelty, if well applied, can secure authority faster than misplaced mercy. The weak recoil from this truth, but the powerful understand that cruelty isn't reckless brutality, it's controlled fire. It's the willingness to do what others cannot stomach, to cross lines that paralyze the ordinary, to strike in ways that leave lasting impressions. Strategic cruelty means you don't punish constantly, but when you do punish, the consequence must be unforgettable, public enough to serve as a warning, severe enough to deter future opposition. This does not require violence, it requires imagination. The reputation, removal. Someone spreads lies about you. Don't defend yourself. Instead, casually mention to 3 key people one true but devastating fact about the liar. Not a lie, just the truth they've been hiding. Watch their credibility evaporate. The opportunity withdrawal. Someone betrays your trust. Don't confront them. Just quietly remove every advantage you ever provided. Introductions you promised? Actually, timing doesn't work. Opportunities you were creating? They mysteriously dry up. When they ask what changed, you smile and say, nothing changed. The strategic exclusion. Someone publicly disrespects you. You don't respond in the moment, but the next event, project, or opportunity everyone wants in on, they're mysteriously not included, and they know why. Everyone knows why, but it's never discussed. The silence is more devastating than any confrontation. Key principles: strike once and devastatingly. When you finally move, make it count so completely they never test you again. Let the punishment exceed the crime. Disproportionate response creates deterrence. Never explain your cruelty. The mystery amplifies the fear. Make it public enough to serve as a warning, but subtle enough to deny if questioned. But strategic cruelty extends inward. You must be cruel to your own weaknesses, merciless with your excuses, ruthless with your mediocrity. That alarm goes off at 5 a.m., no negotiation. Get up. Your discipline says no sugar, then no sugar. No, just this once. When you apply the same unforgiving standards to yourself that you apply to others, you sharpen into a blade the world cannot dull. And when others witness this ruthless self-discipline, they realize they cannot match your resilience. The costs. People will call you vindictive, cold, unforgiving. They'll tell stories where you're the villain. Let them. Every villain in someone's story is a king in their own. The question isn't whether you're liked, it's whether you're taken seriously. Do not confuse cruelty with chaos. Chaos weakens empires. Controlled cruelty builds them. Mercy makes you admired. Cruelty makes you remembered. The balance makes you untouchable. Comment: my power is edged in steel. Law 10. The Crown of Untouchability. Everything we've built, the death of hesitation, the impenetrable mask, the architecture of fear, the liberation of detachment, the weapon of speech and silence, the gravitational presence, the invisible strings, the fortress of boundaries, the precision of cruelty, leads to one ultimate destination: untouchability. But let me tell you what they don't tell you about reaching the top. It's lonely, brutally, completely lonely. The friends who couldn't handle your transformation fell away somewhere around Law 3. The family members who called you cold stopped calling around Law 6. The romantic relationships that couldn't survive your emotional detachment ended around Law 4. You're more powerful than you've ever been, more respected, more feared, more in control, and you're alone. Untouchability isn't a title you give yourself. It's a status others feel in their bones when they stand in your presence. It's the aura of inevitability, the sense that no scheme, no insult, no betrayal can pierce the armor you forged from discipline and strategy. To be untouchable is to operate above the games of ordinary men, to bend their wills while never appearing to exert effort. But it's also to stand outside the warm circle of human connection, watching through glass you installed yourself. The untouchable man doesn't seek validation. He generates it through sheer force of presence. He doesn't chase opportunities. He creates them. He doesn't beg for loyalty. He commands it through the weight of his aura and the consequences of abandoning him. But here's what you need to understand before you fully commit. You cannot go back. Once you've seen the invisible strings, you can't pretend they don't exist. Once you've enforced ruthless boundaries, people won't let you be soft again. Once you've withdrawn the mask and shown people the calculated mind beneath, they won't trust the warm moments anymore. The untouchable man moves through life like a king in a foreign land, respected, feared, obeyed, but never fully trusted, never fully loved, never fully known. Because to be known is to be vulnerable, and vulnerability is the crack through which power bleeds out. You walk into rooms and conversations adjust. People seek your approval, but keep their distance. They value your time, but rarely feel comfortable wasting it with casual connection. You're included in important decisions and excluded from trivial social bonding. You're respected at work and isolated at the holiday party. Machiavelli wrote that fortune favors the bold, but he also died in exile, separated from power. Power is never permanent. Every king eventually falls. But while you stand, your aura can make you seem eternal. To maintain untouchability, you must fuse all 10 laws into a single being. Your silence commands attention. Your mask conceals strategy. Your calculated fear cuts deep, but rarely. Your detachment keeps you cold when everyone burns. Your presence alters the air. Your leverage turns men into unwitting pawns. Your boundaries are walls no one dares climb. Your cruelty is precise, haunting, unforgettable. And when you weave all of this together, your aura becomes so powerful that people surrender before the battle begins. Not because you force them, but because resisting you feels impossible. But let me ask you a final question. Is it worth it? Is the power worth the isolation? Is the respect worth never being able to fully relax? Is the control worth the constant maintenance of the mask? Is the untouchability worth never being touched? Only you can answer that. Some men get to this level and realize they don't want it. They'd rather have 3 genuine friendships than 100 useful contacts. They'd rather be vulnerable with someone they love than in control of everyone they meet. There's no wrong answer, but there is a permanent choice. If you choose this path, truly choose it, then commit completely. Half measures create contempt. Inconsistency invites testing. You cannot be untouchable on Monday and approval-seeking on Tuesday. The mask must become your face. The discipline must become your nature. This is the crown of untouchability. It cannot be bought, cannot be faked, cannot be stolen. It can only be built through ruthless discipline, Machiavellian cunning, and relentless will that never bends, never breaks, never apologizes. You now know the path. The 10 laws have been laid before you like steps ascending to a throne. The only question that remains is whether you have what it takes to walk it, whether you can look at yourself honestly and commit to the transformation required, whether you're willing to pay the price that power demands. If you are ready, truly ready, understanding what you're trading for it, comment below one last time, I am untouchable. And remember, if this monologue sharpened your mind, if it fed your hunger for power, if it awakened something in you that's been sleeping, then don't hesitate. Like this video. Subscribe to Your Identity is a Hoax. Turn on notifications so that every time I release a weapon for your arsenal, you will be the first to wield it. The path to power has no room for delay. The world is a battlefield. Every day you wait is a day your enemies grow stronger while you remain weak. Every day you spend being nice instead of necessary is a day you hand power to people who will use it against you. Both paths lead somewhere. Only one leads to untouchability. The crown awaits. The question is, are you willing to wear it?